Hey everybody, I'm Tony George from Doc Sports. Free NFC semifinal playoff game. The Los Angeles Rams traveling to the frozen tundra of Soldier Field to play the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Line is 4.5 LA, and the total is 48.5. Let's talk about it. Um, I'm taping this on Friday, so those are the Friday lines. In my opinion, and I have a play in the late game tonight, I didn't have any action in this side or total. And I'm preface this by saying I understand what the weather's going to be. Okay? Um, you want to sniff the under because Matt Stafford can't win in the cold, this, that, and the other? Go ahead. But at day's end, LA's a better team by touchdown. I take the guesswork out of it. A mentor of mine back in the 90s and into the early 2000s was a guy by the name of Mike Lee. And he told me something a long time ago. He said, when it comes to the NFL postseason, he said, you just bet the better team. Forget the point spread, bet the better team. They're going to cover more times than not. Bet the better team. He wasn't lying. History has a tendency to repeat itself. LA's a better team. I think Chicago has gotten lucky. Now, that being said, not to piss off Bear Nation, Ben Johnson's done a hell of a job with this team. They were left for dead on the side of the road like old Shep. At the end of last year, Eberflus, what a disaster the coaching was. And they've got here by winning a lot of one-possession games and being the recipient of a lot of gifts. LA is not going to make mistakes and give you a lot of gifts. They made mistakes last week they'll learn from. They should have never been in a tussle as a 10.5, 11-point favorite against Carolina, but they were. But they found a way to win. That's the sign of a championship team. And obviously, Chicago has found ways to win this year. They have been one of the luckiest, if not the luckiest team in the NFL. They are the 2025 version of the Kansas City Chiefs last year in 2024, winning a bunch of one-possession games, kicks getting blocked at the last second and pulling out a win miraculously. What happened when they got to the biggest game of the year? They got their butts handed to them. I think the Los Angeles Rams are one of the top two teams, maybe three teams in the NFL. There's going to be, there's going to be at least one team from the NFC West in the title game because the Niners are playing the Seahawks on Saturday. The game hasn't gone. I have a 7-unit play in that game. But one of those two teams is going to be in the championship game, I think, with LA. It would be the third time LA had played either one of those teams. But I think Los Angeles, as I mentioned in the Buffalo and Denver free play video, a heavy handicap in this game or any postseason game is the quarterback. Matt Stafford, Caleb Williams. No brainer. Matt Stafford should win the MVP this year. He's been the best quarterback in the NFL this year. In my opinion, I've said this over the years, all the years he was in Detroit. If he'd have been anywhere else but Detroit, he'd had 3 Super Bowl rings. The second he left Detroit, he got a Super Bowl ring the next year. And he's played at Soldier Field how many times being a Detroit quarterback? I know his record outside in the cold is not good. I get that. I don't care. You're talking about a Chicago team that was a recipient of Sean McVay's best friend, Matt LaFleur, the head coach of Green Bay, doing one of the worst coaching jobs I've seen in recent memory. He was smoking Chicago and then got outscored 25-6 in the fourth quarter. Take your foot off. Sean McVay's not going to make that mistake. Sean McVay is a Super Bowl winning head coach and one of the best head coaches in the NFL. Of anybody. Bar none. You got a 1-2 punch at running back. You got a stud quarterback. You got tight end that can make catches. You got wide receivers. Nakua is off the chart. I mean, you got playmakers all over. Devontae Adams. You got guys all over the place making plays. You can eat it up on the ground against these guys. Chicago couldn't establish a run last week. Williams had to make a couple of miracle throws just to keep them in the game. Green Bay pissed down their leg. None of that's going to happen this week. I'm taking the better team. LA by a touchdown, lay the 4.5. That's how I see it. Now, over at DocSports.com, as I said, I'm taping this on Friday, so we have a 7-unit top play out on Saturday. We have a 4-unit totals play in the late game on Sunday. We have a 4-unit totals play in the national title game between Indiana and Miami. Ought to be a good one. We'll have college basketball, NBA. We'll have a prop card in the NFL both Saturday and Sunday. In potentially some PGA. Doc Sports, if you've never been over there, you should be. We'll give you a free $60, link in the description below, or a tab on the upper left-hand corner of the website. We'll park $60 in any new account. It comes with a profit guarantee and zero obligation and zero hassles. Not blowing smoke up your butt. Go get it. You're here for free stuff. Go get a free $60. Go get yourself some winners over at DocSports.com this weekend. Best of luck.